Let's take a look at Tanjong Katong Girls Prelim 2022, Paper 2, Question 4. It is given that P equals to 8 sine theta plus 12 cos theta. Part 1, express P in the form of a cert 13 sine theta plus alpha, where a is an integer and alpha is between 0 and pi over 2. Now you do notice that they're given you angle in radian. Quickly go into your calculator mode and convert it into radian mode first. Next, let's take a look at what we need to express. We need to express in terms of sine angle addition. So I'm going to change the a cert 13 as r, and we're going to continue writing sine theta plus alpha. And next, I'm going to look into the formula page, angle addition of sine. Let's take a look at that one there. I have added r, meaning I multiply r to the left and to the right. So now I can write my formula as replacing this one as r sine. Remember to use this as theta, and cos, use it as alpha. And I'm going to repeat. So this is an addition. So addition followed by addition. So that's addition here. R cos theta and then sine alpha. Okay, so next step, we're going to compare left and right. So I'm going to underline comparing sine theta with sine theta version. I know r cos alpha must be 8. Let me write that down. R cos alpha equal 8. And I'm going to compare cos theta with cos theta. So now I know r sine alpha equals to 12. So let me write this now. R sine alpha equals to 12. I'm going to name it equation 1, equation 2. Next, let's take a look at the next part here. We're going to find what r and alpha is. I'm going to take 1 square plus 2 square. So I'm going to have r square equals to sine square plus cos square going to give you 1. So I factorize r square out and that will give me 1. So I will just going to skip that step. And let's write here. We'll have 8 square plus 12 square. Now time to get my calculator out. I will get 208. So I'm going to bring also the square to this answer here. So I have square root of 208. Now notice that I need the answer to be in square root 13. So you need to type your calculator one more step. What can 208 be split to 13 times another number? So I find out that the other number is going to be a 16. So it's square root 16 times square root 13. So next step, square root of 16 is going to be a 4. So 4 square root 13 is our answer. Next step, we're going to get what the angle is. So to get the angle, we have sine and cos. So we're going to do 2 divided by 1 to get tangent. So 2 divided by 1, sine over cos will give me tangent alpha. So I have 12 divided by 8. Now we know that alpha is in radian and is only in quadrant 1. So I can directly take alpha equals to tangent inverse of 12 over 8. Make sure your calculator is in radian mode when you type this. Grab my calculator answer is going to be 0.9828. So last step, I'm going to express P again. So therefore, my answer, P is equals to R is going to be this. So 4 cert 13 and followed by sine theta plus alpha. So I'm going to write alpha in 3SF. That's going to be 0.983. Okay, so I put my final answer over here. We have completed part number 1. Now let's take a look at part 2 of this question. Find the maximum value of 2 minus p and the corresponding value of theta for pi over 2 to 3 pi over 2. You have to be a bit careful in this question here. Although they have the word maximum, but they're not finding maximum of p, but maximum of 2 minus p. To make this maximum, p value needs to be minimum, as low as possible. So now let's go to this one here. In order for p to be minimum, we know that sine theta plus 0.9828 needs to be the lowest. So it's going to be a -1. I'm going to draw you a tiny sine graph here. So the lowest point over here is going to be a -1. So now let me calculate 2 minus p. So 2 minus p. So this p value, I'm going to insert 413. And the sign value over here, we're going to insert a -1. So this answer here will give me 16.4. So this is the maximum value. So you can write it down again in front. 2 minus p equals to 16.4. Okay, so we have the next part where we need to find the corresponding value for theta. Now let's take a look at the angle over here. Remember, we are in radian mode, so the end of the graph should be 2 pi. Half of the graph here should be pi. So the middle value over here is going to be 1.5 pi between these two, which is also 3 pi over 2. So let me take the angle here. Theta plus 0.9828 equals to 3 pi over 2. Bringing this one to the right, you do 3 pi over 2 minus 0.9828. I'm going to write my answer in 3SF. That's going to be 3.73 radian. Okay, let's just take note that this answer will be between pi over 2 and 3 pi over 2.